For this, would anyone like to make perception checks for a watch?
I'll go ahead.
I'll do
I'll
one.
make one.
Anyone
I can
else?
do one as well. Sure.
Do I roll out right now or later?
Maybe no.
You want all of us to roll right now? Or
Yeah, for those
What a
that
watch.
are doing the watch. Okay. I will say with how abuzz the village is, that you guys are a bit on edge. Rock, you don't notice anything during your watch. Lyre, as you guys are kind of posted up above, and you can kind of see down into the inn and all that. You gotta keep the door open with a bit of candlelight behind you to get a bit of a view outside. And briefly, you notice coming up the stairs from outside, but quickly, it's a quick glance. Whenever you do see it, is that you see like the light reflecting off like an animal's eyes, that quick like glow in the dark, as someone comes up the stairs and then opens up into Daryl's room and closes the door.
I see a glow of eyes as Daryl comes up the stairs.
They
Yep.
just go to Daryl's, or as Daryl comes up the stairs, or they just go to Daryl's room.
It looked like Daryl. That strange kind of quick glow that you usually see in like raccoons or cats in the dark. Gowain, as you take over rather earlier in the day, you hear downstairs the quick, not really quick, but the rumblings of people starting to put things together. A kitchen, the Markovs putting their inn in order, and quite a few people come in rather early, and you kind of observe for a little bit from the distance and see there's a bit of a discussion. Most of them robed, and you can't really see much of them at all. Just kind of like glancing down at Erwin. Give me an insight check. Conversation looks peaceful enough, and they eventually do leave. You can't really read much from this other individual as their back was towards you, and Erwin was facing towards them. Kind of looking at Erwin, you can kind of see that there's a bit of feigned discomfort, tense, and how he's talking to them. You don't really catch what he's saying, but whatever the conversation was or is rather serious, with a layer of nonchalantness above. And that will be the end of all your watches. Aranea,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of wake up standing, and kind of look around, and there's it's like a dim light as you're in like a kind of like a closet, it feels like, but all around you are just these thick like blankets, cloths. You can see a dim light filtering through it. You're not in your bed.
Am I in the inn room?
Not in any room that you've been in. You can hear kind of like, as if far off in the distance, you can hear kind of like the muffled yelling of people and the cling of metal.
Is there any doors or
Nothing.
windows?
There's not, I mean, just around you is just these layers of cloth. Like there's imagine like you're in a bird cage and someone draped over blankets all around you. That's kind of what these look like, but you don't see that framework as if these cloths are just hanging there.
Okay. Can I go up to the cloth and like push it away to see if there's anything past it? Like a door or a wall?
Yeah, most certainly can. So as you do, you kind of push it away. For a moment, it's just immensely bright. You find yourself squinting as you kind of open your eyes a bit more. The cloth is completely gone, and you see all around you. You're in the midst of a hilly landscape, and you can see that there's many forms just kind of coming up and clashing with each other. From distance, you see some of them have helmets on, but you see humans, dwarves, orcs, minotaurs, like all sorts of races here clashing with each other. And it's just chaos. And so you're like taking all of this, and you see there's a group like suddenly as you kind of take a couple steps up, there's a group like maybe 15 feet in front of you as you kind of like crest this hill, and you see all of them clashing with each other. You're kind of like looking around. You hear this coming up behind you as there's this quick-paced orc in heavy metal armor coming out with this massive battle axe charging right at you.
Does he look like he's attacking me or like something behind me?
It looks like he's running straight towards you, like probably about 9 foot tall, and he just has both his hands on his battle axe, and he's just running right at you.
Okay, cool. I'm going to cast cast sleep at him at 3rd level.
Make an intelligence saving throw.
Fuck.
You're smart. Should be fine.
I'm smart. 22.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your 5d8.
Okay. Let's see. So if it's 5d8. So. Okay, so it'd be. That.
You're casting at what level?
3rd.
Okay. So roll another 2d8.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, so as you see the figure starts still charging at you, and you quickly cast a spell. As this is not expected at all. You feel this like heavy mental just resistance as you go about it, and as you just kind of like quickly push through, you barely do make it over whatever this mental resistance was. And as you push out your will, this spell towards this creature, you see him kind of stagger slightly, but still continue his run towards you. And as he gets closer, maybe about 10 feet away, you see this blur of motion, this kind of like a quick tree trunk of gray metal, this kind of fly into him from the side as you see this quick blur of a dwarf land on top of this orc with a familiar but shrill scream you usually hear from you usually don't hear from dwarves. As they collide together, the orc hits the ground. Orc headbutts him off, and you see the dwarf knocked back. This quick exchange between them. You see the dwarf rising up to one knee, starting to bring that great axe up, before this dwarf just quickly slices through the knee and then slams his axe down into the throat of this orc. And you hear this roar rise from him. I am Jorgen Jorgensen!
Jorgensen!
And then you see him rushing off into another fight off in the distance, seemingly not noticing you.
Okay, and Aranea is just gonna stand there and go, what? What was that? Where am I? And she's gonna think and well, the last thing I did was put on that fucking ring. Am I wearing the ring still?
Yeah, looking down, you're still wearing it.
Okay, I'm gonna
And
take it off.
yeah,
Wonderful.
and as you kind of like go down and you look at it, you hear a voice kind of speak out behind you. My ring. That's not that song.
Nice.
Oh, no. I will fireball him. No. God.
That was some fucking timing, man.
Yeah.
Hello, Lord Strahd.
Oh, the voice you hear is feminine.
I would assume it was Strahd.
No, it's wherever the source of the voice is behind you.
I'm gonna turn around. Who is it?
As you turn around, it's kind of like a motion blur of like cameras. If you've ever watched a show like that or played a game where the pivot's just too much blur and it's like, oh, a little disorienting.
The worst shit.
As that blur kind of encompasses your vision for a second. You're standing in a library. You see before you, in this kind of regal red dress, trimmed with gold, a red-haired, kind of like reddish-skinned elf. I am Lyre. And I do believe they, at least Jorgen called you Aranea, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you are, she looks around a bit, and what you may consider a undesired respite for myself. I came to Barovia, as you did, as those with you did, and I fell to Strahd. You are now in the ring with me, for I wanted to get a measure of your character. I did not know Jorgen for long. To be quite frank, he was an individual I would never associate myself with willingly. But he stood against Strahd, and, or at least tried getting there, and died for it. I know how bleak these lands can be, so if anything, I admire that. The souls of these lands don't go anywhere. They don't go to gods. They don't go to nature. They stay in these lands, twisting, screaming, and suffering. So, that's the last thing I did for Jorgen, as I ensured that he wouldn't go through that. is what you saw.
Well,
That is where you are.
well, Jorgen was a very honorable friend. Thank you.
I will ask him the same thing. I'll ask you the same thing I asked him. Are you going to fight against Strahd? Are you friend or foe?
Well, I know I'm definitely not friends with somebody who treats his people so disrespectfully and cause so much death and destruction.
Let me be blunt. I wish to see him die. And I will aid you if you pledge yourself to this. Either way, whether you pledge or not, I will be watching you. And if I see you aid the devil, as they so call him aptly, I will end you. So, this can be an alliance, or this can be just a mutual coexistence.
I'd definitely like to see some sort of alliance between us. I know that Strahd is definitely somebody who doesn't deserve to be living or unliving or whatever he is.
So, you will seek him dead then?
Mm-hmm. I will.
You will not aid him, otherwise forfeiting your life. And she gestures around, and you see like the library that you're in quickly dissolve into this kind of plain swept plateau. You will see him dead and not aid him, lest you suffer after death, as I'll be watching. So on the price of a hell that I can make personally tailored for you, you give your word. There's a bit more intensity and malice starting to radiate off of her.
I give my word that I will make sure that the devil does not live in any plane of existence.
She takes another step forward. You, Aranea, promise this. Give me an Arcana or History check. It's slipping your mind what it exactly is, but you know that there's some significance to her asking this many times. You know that there's something of significant import to this, but this whole situation, how disorienting it is, it's throwing you off a bit.
I promise.
Very well then. And you hear this kind of like flickering and this crackling of glass as you see your skin starting to flake off and peel on your left arm going up. It doesn't hurt per se, but you see kind of being embedded in your forearm and kind of going up, and you see her hand is extended too, and also kind of flicking into this bright purplish pink and off. The same color as your skin flicking off into like these small butterflies getting larger and larger as they wrap and twist up your arm. Over the coming days, I shall teach you many things. Some may find it distasteful, but I will show you the beginnings of blood magic and much more. Regardless of your words, I don't trust you. Show me with your actions, or die trying as Jorgen did.
I would hope to prove myself, because at this moment I don't trust myself either.
Appreciate your honesty. She kind of flicks, and your vision suddenly you wake up at a bit of a start. See, everyone else is still in the room. Gowain is kind of looking out the door at something that's going about, but you seem fine.
I roll a perception check to see if Aranea looks like Arms McGee. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
You do notice you're kind of like built up during your shift a bit, but you know.
Told you you'd be fine.
Do I have anything on my left arm?
Yep.
Currently?
Yep.
Butterflies.
Kind of like twisting up from your forearm up around, going up. They start rather small, like maybe like half an inch, but they like the largest as they end is probably about like 2.5 inches of these pinkish purplish butterflies, as if you're kind of like tattooed. And I will show you what the individual that you saw in 1 moment.
Sure. Rainia's just sitting in bed, examining her arm at the moment.
Look, you lead a good life, you get your own version of Valhalla.
Okay, so if you look under NPCs and free agents, you will see Lyre. Those that have seen her.
I don't have her on rock, or me. Yeah, well.
You should.
Or NPC. Oh, wait, that's named NPC then.
It's very cool.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's still there.
Do you know the cantrip minor illusion?
I think you do.
So you do now.
Add it to your book.
I do not.
As Aaron aptly said, you do now.
Sorry to steal that from you.
It's all good.
See, this is why Jorgen was going to give up the ring. He can't learn this shit. He had an intelligence of 8.
I mean,
Oops.
still letting you cast spells, but there is a consequence if you didn't make the DC for them.
Which I never did.
Yeah. Also, in addition to knowing minor illusion, you have the School of Illusion Wizard's second ability now of improved minor illusion. And that you can both create a sound and an image with a single casting of the spell.
Dang.
That's cool. I have to figure out how to add that in with D&D Beyond.
And you are attuned with the ring.
You also have psychic reduction or resistance now.
Yeah. It's gonna be really hard not to help Strahd when I don't know who to fucking trust. Guys, what if I accidentally help Strahd and I don't realize it?
Well, you're dead. But
your rest completes without incident. You guys wake up in the morning. The day is yours.
Right. So, what's the plan?
We need to go check on Irena.
Yes.
Okay.
So you guys are heading over to the church?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume so, yes.
So as all of you kind of wake up, get your things together. As you guys are stepping out downstairs and outside, actually Erwin sees all of you guys heading out. A moment, if you all wouldn't mind.
Okay.
No. I mean, go ahead.
You can see he's kind of like rubbing his hands a bit. Well, we had a bit of a visit today from the Edemacher family, and they were looking for all of you. I showed them that none of you are here, but if the rest of you wouldn't mind finding somewhere else to spend the night this upcoming evening, it would be appreciated.
Is he the tavern owner?
Yes.
Are you kicking us out?
You see, he like raises his hands a little bit. It's nothing personal. It's just
What did we do?
that's between you and the Edemachers.
Who is that exactly? I
Have we even met anybody by that name?
don't know.
And sorry, who
The
is it?
Edemacher
Ademeyer?
No, the Edemacher is like the other person of influence in this town, right? And she's
Right.
the one who's possibly associated with Strahd.
Anyone besides Rock can make a history check.
Is that Lady Wakta?
Lady Wakta is the
Yes.
other well-known house individual.
Make a history check, but I'm not good at it. Especially
Okay.
I'll forgo.
I,
Doesn't seem like a liar thing.
So Aranea, like thinking back, you do remember a bit of unpleasant memory, as it does recall your thoughts back to what you saw in the death house of your father, those bleeding red eyes crying. When you first went and visited Irena at her house with her brother, and you guys, some of you went over there and actually saw the casket open a bit. Her father also had the same stained eyes. She mentioned that the Edemacher family were the ones that did this to her father,
Oh, them.
and that they were of considerable influence in Vallaki. They're well known to work with the devil.
Well, you know what, Mr. And I'm going to turn to the tavern owner. What was your name again?
Erwin.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Irwin, if we've caused any trouble. We could
no-
possibly find another place to stay. Isn't that right?
Elena's just gonna burst out laughing because she knows no other place.
We don't want to bring trouble down on you. You've been kind to us, a good host, and the fact that you didn't just settle on us. I think we would want to return that favor.
I mean, it is a shame because now we're going to have to go and complain to the Burgermeister about your services, and I'd hate to tell him a
Right.
negative word about you.
Not really his
You know,
fault.
he
It's
doesn't
the
seem-
selfish bitch before.
Doesn't seem the nicest.
Right,
That's all.
Erwin?
Give me an intimidation check, Aranea.
Aranea?
I'm sorry.
Elena? Is it Elena?
I was trying it more of a like persuasion, if that helps.
But
But
you can give it to me with advantage. But but because Elena was adding into there, but
I'm sorry.
it was led initially by Aranea.
Okay.
I can't sound mean, guys, apparently.
Well, I think that even the Burgomeister might kind of agree on this front. But I have somewhere in mind for you to go for the evening.
Okay.
You see him kind of go back inside real quick and come back out with a bit of a parcel kind of wrapped up. And he hands it to Rock, who looks like the biggest one, or at least the tallest. Here, take this to the Vistani outside of town. They should be able to put you up for a night. It's quite nothing but just alcohol in there, and if anything, that'll put you on the good side.
Out of character, I'm thinking so hard about casting Zone of Truth on this bitch.
You always can.
I wish I had Charm Person.
Thank you for giving us an alternative.
Yeah. Feel free to come back in a bit of time, but I just know you all can't stay here for a bit.
They'd say they were coming back.
Erin.
The Ettermockers?
They keep a close eye on those that they keep interest in. And he looks over to you, Elena. Yes.
May I have a word with you privately? She
Just
got
like a
smiles from ear to ear.
Insight check. I'm insight checking that shit.
Were
I'm
you
inside-
inside check? Were you inside
I'm
checking?
I'm inside checking fucking Elena. Fuck that.
I'll be 1 second.
12.
Seems like she wants a private word with him.
He's gonna take that bundle of booze and stick it in his bag of holding.
Lyre just touches your shoulder for a second, Elena, as you're walking over to him and goes, "Crowbar?"
You see his eye kind of like his eyebrow kind of like raised a little bit, but you don't mind having a brief conversation.
Okay. We're gonna have a conversation, alright.
No.
I wasn't expecting to need this guy's stats.
He's being truthful, guys. Come on. He's just scared shitless.
Oh, we're gonna suck every bit of information that we can.
Are we the baddies?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So just kind of go inside a bit, and you can see that it's still, you can smell the smell of food cooking, albeit rather bland. What is available here? You can smell that it's cooking nonetheless. And he kind of pulls up a chair, sits down a bit, and looks at you and what can I do for you? And as you kind of grasp your symbol, and like a quick breeze, very unfitting inside the end, kind of like passes by, and you see like bits of dust kind of like line up in this circle around him on the ground, and he just kind of like shudders a little bit, seemingly not affected.
Damn.
Nat
He
20.
passed his saving throw. Fuck!
That's
want
why
to know.
insight exists.
I want to know the real truth why you're kicking us out. Apart from the person that I don't know. Like, what's the deal? Like, I don't think we caused any harm, did we? Bad guests.
He just kind of looks around. There's no one else in here. No, not at all. It's just the Adamakers are well known to work for Strahd, or well known to work for the devil. And to be frank, if we keep you here, then I'm sure that they'll burn the inn down the next night.
So you was threatened.
It's never as direct as that.
Now she kind of feels bad, guys. I'm not gonna lie, she feels bad.
I didn't even need an inside check to figure this stuff out.
That
Come
should
on,
be our
guys.
that should be our team name. Feels bad.
She's gonna lightly tap him
Sorry
on the
about
shoulder, like a comforting thing. She goes like, "We wouldn't let anything happen to you or the end. You know that, right?"
Gives you like a half smile and a nod. Like
If we could help it.
they've been around a while and will stoop to any lows, but I do appreciate the sentiment.
So, in memes, do the Unmockers have a side business making pastries? Donuts? Cakes?
I mean, you can go look them out and find them in town.
I'm just saying, man. That just reminded me of Entenmann's, man. And they're delicious.
I thought you were talking about like pastries full of children.
It could be. They could be
Meat pies.
Is there a barber?
You guys are gonna make me feel guilty again.
I was
At
making
this
sweet
moment,
counter.
Elena will just nod at him and then head back to the party.
Gives you a bit of a nod back and starts heading back to the kitchen and starts doing his, you would assume, his normal opening up at the end. But you guys see as Elena comes back, covered in blood, drenched, smiling with this wicked smile on her face.
Mhm.
What
Feel
happened
better?
to you?
Okay, I'm kidding.
Very funny.
You see Elena do come out though.
Well, I guess we need to speak to the Saudis at some point today. Also, I need to borrow like 300 gold, 350 gold,
Why?
so I can make armor.
But you're wearing armor? Oh wait, it's broken. I forgot about
Better
that.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fixed. He's fixed it. But this would be better armor. Nope. Okay. Let's go.
Sorry. I wish I could help. No, I mean, like Aranea says, I really wish I could help, but I only have, I'm broke. I think we all are.
Okay.
Also, Elena, I was going to say I can just cast a spell to talk to Irina, and then that way we don't have to walk all the way to the church. But although it would be better to see her in person.
I would
better
agree.
Better yet. Could not we just talk to Roland's brother?
Yes.
Daryl's brother. Roland.
Wait,
Whatever,
Roland?
the one that's missing. Roxy is. What the hell am I thinking?
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is at some point I could cast sending on Elena and Roxius and be like, "Guess what, dude? Your bro's not dead. I actually just cast sending. He's in like a hole, or I don't know, something."
We should probably do it sooner than later.
Okay. I'll. Who do you want me to contact first?
I think
Roxas.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is you guys are offering to like contact people? Is that
Yes, it's sending.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
doing a jester
um,
thing.
Lyre looks excited and he goes, "My father."
They have to be alive, little guy.
Who's your father again?
He just points up at the sky.
Is it the? I'm just gonna look to Elena and say, is it the sky that is his father, or the stars, or is it the moon? Does he think the moon's his father because it's an egg-shaped thing?
I mean, he takes the star constellations a little bit. I think that's.
Can I hear this or not hear this?
Yeah, you can totally hear this. I'm
yeah,
being
you can probably
rude
hear
and
it.
talking.
Okay. Yeah, he just holds up his constellation thing and says, "He guides the way." It's in your voice.
In whose voice?
Arania's.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think that's how this spell works. I think I need the spell that Elena might have, and I'm thinking like
Speak with Dad.
no, not speak with Dad. I meant the one where in Critical Role they contact the Traveler all the time. They're like, hey, help me out to grow. Can I ask a question type thing? Yeah, commune.
Pretty sure that's a 5th level spell.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't have that spell.
Yeah, he just sort of scratches his head and goes, yeah.
I miss him so much.
Glad to have our bear back.
Yeah.
And he looks just slightly disappointed, but he still looks like he's in a good mood, and he just says, fair enough.
As you guys are having this conversation out here, you guys notice that the streets are actually pretty lively, and you see a lot of people carrying these bundles of sticks and wood over to kind of like the town square.
Oh right, the fires, the festival.
Burning.
The
Burning
Burning
Man
Man.
festival.
The
Burning
Burning
Man.
Man.
Which-
Woodstock, man.
Oh no.
420.
Oh wait a second.
Oh no.
Is the Burning Man an actual Burning Man? It's gonna be fucking Roxas.
Oh no. Okay, so Aranea is going to cast Sending right now because this is my wire and I'm casting Sending. So, and she's going to say, well, I guess I can go, shut up, Lyre. No. Can't think about that. Not the bees. Oh. Arena's gonna say, I mean, let's just, see if it works, because, So, hello, Roxas. This is a friend of your brother, Daryl. My name is Aranea. I was wondering where you are. That's 20.
Get 5 more. Hope you are still alive, bro.
Are you in Barovia? Vallaki. In Vallaki.
So, as part of sending, so you're aware,
Yes.
the recipient knows who is sending the sending.
Right. I just do that because I'm a dork.
If you got rid of that yee ass haircut.
Next time I'm gonna write it out and count 25. I do it by 5 words. Never mind. And he's like, sorry, I'd usually have it prepared and I have a paper.
Hope you are well.
Are you pooping?
Because if they're dead, it just won't work. It'll be like, oh, we're sorry, the message did not receive this recipient. Please try again in 1,000 years when the world ends.
You just get
something.
you get the Windows error message
Yeah.
or sound.
I'm imagining Lyre opening up his mouth and it's just that noise. Yeah.
We're sorry. The number of you.
I imagine Lyre opening his mouth and just getting the 56k modem dial-up noise.
And if it helps, it works in any plane, I think.
When it crosses planes, you need to roll a 1d20
Oh, I did not know that.
or 1d100.
Maria's just standing there like, sometimes it takes a while for them to reply, It's a second for me.
Especially if
It's
they're
like
dead.
10 minutes for them. How are you doing,
Okay,
Rock?
there.
She's like rubbing her back and she's like, hiding her left arm because she just doesn't want anybody to see. Oh, this is,
Okay,
proper
yes.
to keep your hand behind your left arm. It's the gentleman.
Elves are fucking weird.
Well, society is weird.
You get that response rather quickly.
Oh. We're sorry. The number you're trying to reach.
Not be completed as dialed.
Um,
Trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Oh, God.
Alright, I'm out.
Okay.
See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Aranea is immediately gonna grab Elena's shoulder and say, "Where's Daryl? We need to find him right now."
He's back at the inn.
Okay, we need to go find him right now. I know where his brother is.
Okay. Then we go back to the inn.
Okay, sorry. We should go check on Arena first. I don't know.
We could talk to Daryl while we're going to talk to Irina. I don't know.
I mean, again, I could just cast Sending on Irina, but...
Or
Okay,
you could
guys,
save
y'all
yourself.
just wait here and y'all talk it out while I go get Daryl. Okay? I'm
If you're
fine.
not back in 5 minutes, I'm assuming you're doing something.
Okay.
See you in 5.5.
Elena, Lyre just goes up to you and goes, "Do you need help?"
No, I'm well endowed to perform. It's fine.
What did you hear? What's?
You said there's like a lot of people around?
There's a lot of foot traffic. Like, you guys are still like maybe like 20 feet away from the road, so you guys aren't like in the midst of
Okay.
the villagers walking to and fro. Is just, this is way more livelier than you've ever seen it here so far.
Okay, I'm going to look at Gowain and said, apparently, Daryl's brother was thrown into a mirror or something? I've never heard of that before. Thrown into a mirror.
He's been banished to the Shadow Realm. I don't have my Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
Oh, damn.
So
Damn it, Kaiba.
At least he's still alive.
But he also warned
Ish.
me not to alert the wizard here. So I'm assuming he means the Burgermeister's son.
Probably.
Yep. So as Elena, as you head up the stairs again, and just kind of opening up the door, there's a scurry on your shoulder, pawing at the door as you're opening it, as your skeletal cat emerges out of somewhere of your belongings and is now accompanying you. But as you kind of knock on the door for Daryl's room, it's already kind of like ajar. You can.
She gently taps it.
I was saying closed if it's ajar.
You tap it. It slightly opens and come in, and you can see him. He's kind of putting on his armor. It looks like he's You see, there's kind of like dirtied bandages over on the bed itself, but it looks like he's rewrapping bandages around one of his arms. You can see that there's a relatively fresh scar on one of his arms.
Nice.
Did you get into more trouble?
I would never do such a thing.
Uh-huh.
But if it brought you to my door, then maybe I might start doing them more often. But
She kind of just walks up to him and like generally grabs his hand and says, "You need to come with me. Aranea has information about your brother."
Tell me if you want to leave.
yeah, his grin kind of like fades a little bit. He's like, "Very well, we will hurry." He starts grabbing, like, just kind of like grabs the rest of his clothes and his equipment. He's kind of like putting on as he's walking, going out.
Oh yeah, and we can't come back to the inn.
Kind of looks back for a second. The rest is not important. I can. Give me 1 moment. And he goes back and like grabs a bag. He grabs the rest of the stuff, but he's kind of like carrying a whole bunch of stuff, not fully on him
Do
yet.
you
But
want me
he's
to help
walking out with
you?
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Eyebrow waggle.
But you guys do start heading out. But yeah, he's definitely awake, flirting with you guys.
Okay.
Brock's looking at a clock-like device on his wrist.
About 4 minutes. It's getting to the questionable area.
She's
As
walking
we
down-
arrive, I do want to say that was quick, wasn't it?
Very quick. I've never been so rushed before. But
Okay.
he looks at the rest of you. You have news from my brother, yes.
Well, yes. Apparently he's at the mansion, but he was thrown into a mirror of some sort. I don't understand what that means. So that means we would have to find him under probably magical means. Do I need to roll a intelligence check to know what being thrown into a mirror means? No idea? No
You
idea.
had no idea.
Okay, she's like, no idea.
He pauses real quick. He's like putting on one of his gauntlets. So, let me make sure I understand this correctly. Yesterday, you told me my brother was dead. Now you're telling me he is alive.
We thought he was dead.
Yes, because somebody must have lied to me. I mean, I asked the wizard's son, or the wizard there, which is the Burgermeister's son, about what happened to your brother. And your brother said, don't alert the wizard there. So obviously, maybe the wizard is the one that did something to him.
Victor, I believe.
We would just need to not hurt him, but we would just need to cast a certain spell that our certain cleric friend Elena has.
She smiles really big.
So,
I mean,
you are certain that he is alive, yes?
She has
Yes.
talked to him directly.
There's a big smile on his face. Very well then. I will be as forceful as a talker as you need me to be.
I mean, bruises should be fine as long as, nothing's broken.
You say jump, I say how high.
But how to find him is the question, as I don't have anything to detect any magic or anything, so...
A mirror should be easy enough to find.
I wonder which one it is. We do still need to go look for Aranea, isn't that correct, Elena?
Yes.
We need to check.
Mhm.
Because I still have her sword.
Are you all heading over to the church then?
I am.
Yes.
Daryl is accompanying with the rest of you, tagging along as you guys are heading towards the church. All the traffic on these streets is heading the opposite direction. If you guys back over towards the town square, but as you guys head over to the church, and passing by, you guys, as you guys get closer to the Burgomeister's mansion, you guys can see that there are a couple guards that see your group of a posse heading down the street and kind of point over towards you guys. And you see like, two of them kind of like run off into different directions. One back over to the Burgomeister. One back over to the Burgomeister's mansion, and one off towards kind of like where the coffin maker's house was.
Okay, bye.
we should probably hustle out of sight from. I don't think we want to run into company there, given that we looking at Daryl murdered a guard in there and knocked another one out and then left. So we might be in trouble. Let's get out of sight here.
A smart man. Yes, mistakes were made. But okay. If all of you would like to give me stealth checks.
Oh god.
Mine's at disadvantage.
Hey, gee, mine is too.
What are we rolling?
Stealth.
Stealth
Stealth.
checks.
Stealth.
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
I'm all in it.
As you guys are trying to navigate through the town, trying to make as limited of a profile as possible.
That was my third 12 of the night, guys. What the fuck?
At least you didn't get a 10 when you're proficient in it.
Oh no. I am proficient in it.
Let's see.
We get found instantly.
Okay, let's see. I need to do an average of this because Daryl did not roll high either.
We are bad.
Yeah, I'm proficient as well. With
I
like
cast fireball in one of the houses.
Is it
No
bonus?
distraction. No,
still rolled a 9.
sorry.
I
Bad joke.
You said
We roll.
you have a 9. That's what yours is.
Yeah, you should see it on the.
Okay.
So, good news, everybody. You're walking around with a giant metal bird. We are very inconspicuous.
And a skeletal cat.
He's a good kitty. Lyre, do you want to hold 0?
Okay. So as you get as you guys are still navigating through the city, there's besides those initial guards that kind of ran off, you guys don't see anything else. Any other guards kind of out and about. Lyre and Elena. No, not Daryl. Lyre and Elena. You guys notice there's a couple figures that kind of like peer out of some of the alleys. You guys are kind of taking the back and not being on the main road as much. That peek out a bit far, kind of glancing at you, and then kind of pull back. This happens about like a couple times, as even as
Dressed
you're heading
in
over to the
black?
church. Hard to see. It could be black or like a dark blue, but darker color robes. Yeah.
Lyre notices Aranea noticing this too. He's gonna kind of poke at her a little bit and say, "This doesn't feel right."
Are you poking Aranea even though she didn't see anything?
I thought she said she saw something.
No.
Elena.
It was Elena. Oh,
Yeah.
Elena.
Your names are too similar.
Elena.
I
Elenia.
swear, my
So-
character gets killed, I'm changing it to like Rebecca or something. It'll be
Yeah.
much better.
Like, Irlania.
Okay, so he's just gonna poke you, and then in your own voice do the same thing.
No, this doesn't feel right. Liar.
But it's quick, it's brief, and as soon as you guys see them and they kind of peer away, there's no other like further follow-up interaction by them. But you guys get the idea that even though you're taking the side streets, you guys still aren't the most quiet. As Rock and Daryl are apparently have no spatial awareness and bump into many things.
So what's wrong with taking the back streets?
You are so loud. Be quiet. Shh.
How do I delete a human being?
No, you don't go.
Yeah.
Hey now.
But you guys do emerge from the alleys of Vallaki towards kind of like the more wide open area of the church to the front of it, and you can see that as you're closer towards the outskirts and edge of this city. Actually, guys, I'll put you on the map. As you guys are over there, there's like no one here. You see like maybe one person carrying a bundle of like large branches and twigs, like kind of like hurriedly rushing over towards the town square. But like for the most part, all of the traffic is more closer towards the middle. You guys do see the church is standing. The doors are open.
Okay. Rock's just gonna spatially unaware walk his happy ass inside.
I'm gonna start jogging.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like look around and see if there's, I don't know, any like any footprints of like, has anyone been here recently or anything like that?
I mean, this is a kind of like an open town area, unless you're trying to like isolate a certain.
Like, because you said the church doors are open. Like,
Mhm.
are they just hanging there, or do they like?
Just-
Does it look the same as it always is?
Yeah. That looks
Oh.
the same as always. It's kind of like just double doors that are
Sorry,
like
I'm getting
larger
too
that allows people to get in.
suspicious right now. I'm like, we're checking everything. Sorry.
No, it's a good mentality. Just, it's common for this appearance. Yep. As Rock and Elena, as you guys kind of head up towards the doors, you guys see that there's like no one like in the pews at all, but you do see kind of a more frail, slightly stooped over older individual in the distance, lighting candles. You know this to be Father Lucian.
I'm gonna run to him.
He hears you before you actually get to him as the clang, 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 the jangle of your armor. He turns around a bit surprised. Hello. Good morning. Welcome.
Where's Irina?
He kind of looks around. Perhaps at the festival? I know she spoke about never being to one and was rather curious. That was when she first arrived. It takes a moment, like, thanks. Oh yeah, she was going to speak to the rest of you about something. The other night, I think she said she was heading towards the inn.
Okay.
We found
never
her
got it.
sword near the burgomaster's home.
It was outside the inn.
Oh, was it? Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ooh. It was...
She would never leave that particular item, I don't think.
It's ill tidings. I don't quite know where she might have gone off to, but I would very much like to see her returned safely somewhere. And I don't mean to be shallow about the matter, but I don't suppose, in terms of finding safety where we can, if you found the bones of a saint.
We know where they could be,
His face got
depending on
brighten up a bit.
if
Oh.
they're still there. We don't
Good.
know.
Good.
There was a house fire.
What was that?
There was a house fire. They may have been in the house
Yep.
fire.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yep.
swooped quickly. Like, oh.
I think that he may have sold the bones already because he had that bag of money.
Oh,
Make a. Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
come on, Mr. Charisma. This is why we keep you around.
You see his face of just kind of like sheer panic. Kind of like soothes a little bit. You see the idea of that holy relic or artifact, or remains, you could say, being lost in a fire was far more disconcerting than just being sold. I puts his hand over his chest. I think I need a moment, and he just kind of starts shambling over towards one of the chairs and takes a seat down.
Speaking of which, Father.
Yes.
What is more unnerving, besides the bones, is the fact that the coffin maker had nameplates of all of us, aside from Rock.
He's always been a troubled man.
Troubled, you say?
What about the vampire spawn? We're gonna talk about that.
That fucking creepy ass laugh, dude. Well, we found the coffin maker.
Yes. Most of the villagers just never really liked being around death, so Henrik has always been a bit of an outcast.
Don't say.
Wonder if either the Edermath or Lady Wakta, who've both been accused at least of being in league with Strahd, would have either been the buyer for that relic or at least contracted him to make our grave markers. Maybe we should try and talk to either of them.
Get pauses and thinks for a moment. The Adamaka family doesn't really speak with many in Vallaki. I couldn't imagine them knowing Henrik quite well, but Lady Wachter, she's a bit of a social butterfly. She might know something.
I know that we can't stay at the night at the inn anymore. So, do you care if we crash here?
You're more than welcome under the Morning Lord's roof.
Oh, there you go, guys. That was my first good deed.
He stands up again, and he starts like heading over towards a pew, and he sees like this frail old man starting to pull out. Like, I just make some space for all of you.
You do that. I turn around.
I will help you, Father.
I am curious about one thing. How did the coffin maker know our names? We'd never met him. So how did he make plaques with all of our names?
He's kind of grunting a bit as he's trying to move this this pew. Elena helps him. I haven't spoken with him in a bit of time. It's straining, but
Oh. Rock, why don't you help the father move that? And then that way, the father can rest for a bit.
Why? We could stay with the Vistani. We got the booze, and he pulls it out, the blanket of booze.
it's like a well-contained parcel.
Yeah.
Like
You
your player gets excited and pulls out his own cheap bottle of wine.
We could stay here, or we could stay with the Vistani, but our options are quite limited because we need to find Irina.
Well,
Daryl starts helping you move the pews, Elena. Oh well.
Later again.
You see, his Father Lucian takes another seat, very quickly out of breath. Well, you're always more than welcome to rest here.
Well, I could
I
always...
I wonder. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I could always just cast another sending spell to Irina and be the phone for the group.
I mean, it might give us a way to prioritize where we need to go.
What seems more dire? It all seems pretty fucking dire. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, still nobody wants to invest in armor. Okay. Me need big money.
I don't think my 18 gold is going to help you, Rock. I'm sorry.
Do they sell quality armor here?
I was gonna make it.
No.
Ooh.
How much do you need?
375 gold.
That's quite a larger number.
It is for full plate armor.
Team kind of pause for a moment. Pulls out a small satchel and tosses it over your way. I'll give you some more once we get to my brother.
Just hugs him. Awkward, armored Hob-Goblin hug.
He kind of like puts a hand back. It's like, no, I appreciate it, but no, I'm not interested like that.
Okay. I will heft the gold and just kind of open it up and eyeball it. And use my big brain to figure out how many jelly beans are in the jar.
That is over 25 words.
During the awkward hug, Elena's just gonna cross her arms and just laugh at the two.
Yeah, there's 100 gold in there.
Oh man! Let's go. Add it. Guys, we're almost there. We're almost at AC cap.
How much gold do you like?
I have 123 now.
You'll just do what? Oh, is it lacking?
Yeah, it was lagging a little bit.
Oh, okay.
It's not a tweet, Gwain. Although if Lyre sent it, it would be. Can't tell me it wouldn't be a tweet. I have a sizable contribution to the plate armor fund. It is good. Because it would not fit me. It would take a lot of... I would have to fully pull it apart at the welds. And he starts going into extreme detail about why that wouldn't work. Like the moment you talk to an introvert about like trebuchets, and he's like, "Well, this is exactly how trebuchets work. So this is what arc."
Well, if my brother is safe for now, I do not mind recouping. Spending some time discussing. I know I was a bit rash last time, so by all
You
means.
think?
she
But,
smiles and nudges him.
Worried that
Just the slightest bit.
they're going to be possibly on the lookout for us since they spotted us walking by his house.
No, it's
I
fine.
also wonder about using the Burning Man Festival as a distraction. If they light that up, maybe there will be less people in the house, at least if we need to bust our way in there, find a mirror.
We don't even know what they're setting on fire.
Well, they had all those bundles of sticks and stuff, right?
We should go see what they're going to set on fire. Make sure there's not, like, I don't know, a mirror in there.
Oh my god.
If if you are like heading in there, I will be more than welcome to make a distraction. I'm sure anything that I do, they will notice quite well because I am hard to miss. With just kind of gestures down to himself. With all of this considered.
Elena blushes.
4 minutes, really? 4 minutes.
But there's a festival. I can also create something in mind. I looks over Aranea. She's given me inspiration for a possible distraction from the other night.
Okay. Well, my thought is we investigate the festival, see what that's all about, see if we could use it as a distraction, and if we could use that as a distraction, not put you in danger, Daryl, or put you at less chance of danger, we use that. If not, we go with Plan B of you cause the distraction and we move it that way.
Well, whatever you do, if you do, ought to be rather noticeable, as it is halfway across the town.
Rock suddenly is like, his head slowly tilting.
As you're saying that all is well, there's a bit of a sudden upright movement on Elena's shoulder as the skeletal cat apparently does not like that term and reacts rather negatively towards it. If it had hair standing up on the back of its back, it probably would be up.
I'm just gonna go to pet it with one metal finger.
Lyre just kind of looks at the. This is the dead cat, right? He goes,
Yes.
Oh, well.
You go to pet Elena. It's still like rather bristling, as you would say. As you go to pet it, Rock
the
can
cat's
kind of
name?
calm it down. It swats at your glove.
Roll for
Oh,
Really
initiative.
is
really cute.
I think
I guess maybe the point I'm trying to make is I think we are probably wanted individuals at this point, given we murdered one guard in the Burgomeister's house and
We did
knocked.
I'm sorry.
didn't.
We didn't do anything. Looks at
We
Daryl out
were-
of character.
We were
I know.
accessories to murder.
I missed just 1 or 2 games, and this is what you guys do, you know?
And
You wouldn't have it any
Like-
other way.
I feel like there's no likely no doubt who did it, given that we were spotted by guards going in and out. By
So you're saying it would be smarter for us to be separated and then the guards pick us off one by one?
I'm saying that our group moving through town is likely to draw attention, and people are likely on the lookout for us. So, trying to go investigate this burning festival is likely to it is likely to result in us getting arrested at the festival. I'm sure there's guards there. So if we have to go anywhere,
Brock-
like I'm wondering if we should just go to the Burgomeister's house, go in, guns a-blazing at some point, and try and get done what we need to get done.
That's the action for which I will do Wheel and Woe. Precisely how he worded it. We'll go straight to the Burgomeister's.
Guns
a-blazing.
a-blazing.
Yeah. And so that will be the for which he does the ritual on.
Uh-oh.
Augury.
Whoa! Whole lot of whoa!
Whoa!
For
That-
okay, go ahead. I will say with what end goal in mind?
What angle? Precisely as worded by Cameron. So the angle is to go into Burgomeister's house. Basically, guns a-blazing.
Get your friend shot in the ass.
Yeah.
Wheel and Mo.
Wheel and Woe? Okay. So Lyre, seemingly a little bit unsatisfied, rolls up his map and continues kind of quietly watching his party mates continue the debate.
The entire time Gawain's talking about all this, Rock is just pointing at his tall, lanky, metal-clad ass. I alone stand out in this village, town, clan, whatever it is. So, I also feel that raiding parties work because they stay as a group. You may not like the terminology I'm using, but they also work because there's intel. We need to take our time and not act rashly about these things. If there is something we can do to cause a large influx of guards or something to go one way while we go a separate way, it is a smarter play than just going to one point, causing a ruckus, and then having everything congregate on that center point. Which, I might add, that center point is in about the dead center of this village. Also-
Aranea chuckles a little bit and says, "For once, I actually agree with Rock for once."
I would also like to state that the Burgomeister's son, while unlikable in many aspects, also does not like the situation he is currently in. And we may be able to, with some effort, convince him to join our ranks in a sense of getting the fuck out of here and having him aid us in fighting this devil, as opposed to simply just running. But that's just me.
Did
Yes,
you get the
but-
sense that he was somebody that could be an ally, or Aranea?
Well, I'm unsure because it could be his growing up that made him the way he is, but he's the one that told me that Daryl's brother was dead, unless the Burgermeister told him that.
Did he actually use the word dead, or that he wouldn't be a problem or an issue anymore?
Oh, well, yes, he did say that. I guess he didn't actually say he was dead.
What I saw briefly from him, just the way that he held himself in that inn when he took my brother away, is that he seems an opportunist. I would not expect him to be a reliable link in anything you would deem important.
Possibly, yes, but I also feel like he does not like the situation he is currently in, and that if we can offer a means to a better situation, perhaps his freedom from Barovia in general, that he may jump at the opportunity. As again, a larger group is stronger than an individual.
Plus, he's probably just sick and needs help.
Perhaps?
Perhaps. I still say, right now, we check the fair, even as a group. We are at the fair, we are enjoying ourselves, we are part of a status quo. That shouldn't be an issue. If we get arrested, they will most likely take us to the Burgomeister's house, at which point we can claim that we need to speak to his son and make our plea there.
Mhm.
That is the course of action I see as best.
Depends on if the Burgermeister even decides to listen to us.
We don't care about him, we care about his son.
Well, you all can check out the festival. I will stay back and see if the festival does not work out, if there's an alternate distraction. I will keep low, and I will kind of gestures down, change into something a little less obvious, as much as I can do.
Fair enough.
Elena looks bummed at that.
She wanted to go on a date at the festival with her boyfriend. Go on the Ferris wheel, eat some cotton candy.
I'm willing to go with whatever the group consensus is, but I would like to have a plan if we get accosted by guards at or on our way to the festival. Are we engaging or running? I don't think getting arrested is a good idea because they're going to disarm us in the process of that. And so I think we should just figure out what our plan of action is if we get spotted and called out, and from that to willing to go ahead.
I'd like to not hurt anyone. I was thinking engaging them and telling them that we can go talk to the Burgermeister would be the best option.
I mean, I don't know this for sure, but my expectation is that we're beyond negotiation and politics. If any of the Burgermeister's guards see us, they're going to know that we have murdered some of their own. They're not going to likely fall for the, well, we were just there and we didn't actually do it. It was somebody else who was just there with us, who came in with us, and etc. So my expectation is that expectation is that we get into a fight if we run into guards, or we flee from them.
Yes, but if we flee from them, where would we go? Like back to the church, or just like leave town, or?
I mean, I don't know if it's possible to sort of lose them running through the streets. Got some magic that can help us, distract them to get away. So.
Well, I did do a job. It was a brief job for this lady Wachter lady. Before I met up with the rest of you. She is a bit uncomfortable of a personality, but we could possibly seek help there, though she seemed, what is the word? Very unique.
There is rumors that she works with Strahd.
That, and she was a little very aggressive.
Towards you?
I'm used to it, but even it was a bit off-putting for me, yes.
Show me on the doll where she touched you.
Those wounds run too deep, my friend. I can't do it now.
Girl, do you need any company, like going where you're going, as apart from the party?
You see he's kind of taking off his chainmail armor and kind of like swapping out pieces of it with leather right now. I won't say no to company, but I will be trying to move as quiet as possible.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're the one offering, then I don't think I could say no. Not in my capabilities.
Wait. She's gonna lean in close and she's gonna be like, "Can I use the hat?"
Gives you a nod. I have no issue with that.
Then it's settled. I'm going with Daryl.
Yep.
Rock's gonna let the helmet come off his face right now and just stare at Elena.
Are you sure you're gonna be safe?
I will be perfectly unrecognizable. She smiles.
Anywhere near me is guaranteed safety. We have nothing to worry about.
Hob-Goblin eyes just staring daggers at you.
Lyre rolls his eyes real hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Still just at Elena the entire time. I don't think he's got the helmet off, so he's straight up Hob-Goblin. So I don't think Daryl's. I don't know if Daryl's.
No, he hasn't seen that before. There's a bit of a pause, but it just gives you a bit of a nod. He sees you.
All right.
I'll be okay, Rock.
May I make a suggestion? I think I understand the value of scouting the festival. I would propose that I go and do it alone. Unlike the rest of you, or some of you, I'm not dressed in armor. I'm not carrying a weapon. I don't look particularly out of the ordinary to this group or to this village. If I get seen, I have several tools I can use to help myself hide and escape. So I feel like I could safely do that without being seen. If I get arrested, they've got nothing to disarm off of me. So if you see me get hauled into the Burgomeister's house, then you can meet me inside there. Otherwise, we can arrange a vantage point to observe the house, and I could go scout the festival from there, return back, and when we know what's going on, we could go in.
Lyre's going to interject when you say go in, and he's going to say, as quiet as possible, and sort of do a flicker of magic at his hand. So it looks like he has something planned.
And Elena would look at Daryl and lean in and whisper, do you think he ought to do the hat if he's going to go alone?
He looks to you and looks back at Gowain. How confident are you?
Well, he hasn't screwed us over before, so I'm fairly confident in him.
By all means, using this however you think is fit. I do not mind who uses it.
As long as you get it back. And you will get it back. She'll smile.
Gives you a smile back and gives you a nod. Thank you.
And if we
Gowain, Elena's gonna walk up to you and present you with a certain hat. It will help you.
What is this?
Kind of looks like a what you would imagine kind of like a knockoff festive like Santa green hat is. Like a little bit of a white rim, that green kind of going into a cap with a little ball at the end of it.
Oh, nice.
Trying to not stand out.
Just put it on. Doesn't matter what it looks like. She kind of gets snarky with it.
Whoa. What does it do? What?
Does it require attunement?
It does require attunement. It will, if you spend some time with it, it will let you change your appearance into anything, really. Anything as like a person.
We have the time to spend.
I mean,
Already spent a good amount of time.
Could this technically have been done before the short rest?
yeah, I could.
Would it make more sense to try and disguise Rock so that he doesn't stand out like a sore thumb walking through the town?
I gave it
It's
to
giant.
you, being that you said you was going to go alone.
I'm just throwing out options of how, as a group, we can most effectively work together. It would certainly be useful for moving undetected through the town, but the rest of you still have to get from the church to somewhere near the Burgomeister's house as well. How well do you think that's going to work?
I think under Daryl's wing and how confident we are, I think it should work out pretty okay.
Mhm.
With all of us here, and with me here as well, we will not fail by all means. But to take extra measures that, while you're separated, that you're safe.
And if we don't hear from you in, I'll say, an hour or two, then I'll send you a message. And I'll try to make sure it's coded or something.
Why would it need to be coded? It's him directly.
Well, you never know what... If he gets captured, the Burgomeister's son could make Gawain tell him everything or something like that.
Infiltrate his mind, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well perhaps we all move together to some vantage point near the Burgomeister's house, and then if we've achieved that, from there I could go scout the festival.
Fair enough.
Alright. As long as somebody goes to the festival, because then I'm saying this out of character because I'd like to, like, you never know who could say what during this.
Yeah. No, if we got the Tad to disguise and play, sending one person to investigate the festival, I'm fine with.
Okay.
That's me saying an OOC full, so I don't have to say it as fucking rock.
Now, Gowain, that hat is very special to Daryl. So, whenever you get your use of it, please give it back.
I think Gowain would take out his father's sword hilt and just say, I understand something that's special. This sword hilt is special to me, and I swear on my father's sword that I will return that to you.
I do appreciate that. It is more important to my brother than myself, because why would I ever want to conceal this or change it? I can make my way of the world rather well with this. But I'm sure my brother would very much appreciate this hat back. He's a bit self-conscious, you could say.
Well, shall we?
Rock's gonna put his helmet back up.
Okay, so Gowain, you are headed towards the festival, and the rest of you are heading towards the surrounding area of the Burgomeister's house.
And Gowain, how would I do this? I can't ask you the questions because it's too meta, so I think Lyre will actually use a quill for this. And he'll say honeyed words or fast reflexes.
Fast reflexes.
He grants you the enhanced ability, Cat's Grace. You don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less unless you are incapacitated, and you have advantage on all dexterity checks.
Ooh, that's good.
Very nice.
Um,
That includes stealth.
yes.
Yep.
So you feel kind of like a shiver go through you, and kind of feel like your tendons, sinew, your bones kind of like shift a bit into kind of like you hear a couple pops, but you feel more relaxed afterwards. More graceful, you could say.
And then after that, he says to you in your own voice, exercise caution.
I guess with the hat, if I've seen like the typical look of a Vallaki townsfolk, I'm guessing kind of like a little bit bedraggled looking, just beat down by the constant effort of being happy. I'd like to just kind of change my appearance to someone, to just someone dressed kind of in the style of the Vallaki townsfolk, with a
kind of like a basic, just common appearance you've seen of most of the townfolk. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you take on this mindset, and the hat does kind of shiver and shift a bit, and it fades out of view, and you guys see Gowain a bit dirtier, a bit more dull looked in his face, as if he's like half interested in whatever he's doing, and some well-worn, relatively colorless clothing, very just gray in most senses of personality, temperament, and just color. You just get that immediate feeling from the appearance he's taken.
Now you look right at home.
Lyre
So you
gives
guys-
you the cheap bottle of wine to emphasize that you're there to party.
All right. I will.
Go burb.
It's worth
I'll take
only
the-
1 silver.
I'll take the
So-
wine, and I will. Yeah, I guess I'll just head out down the main street, kind of looking for what the rest of the crowd is doing, and just head towards where everyone else seems to be heading.
So you guys are all doing this, taking your preparations. Elena and Lyre, you guys notice like his change in the appearance of Gowain and everything. Just Father Lucian like reaches into his robe, grabs a hip flask, and just starts drinking. This is all probably a lot for him, but he's been been in the church the entire time, and he's kind of listening to what you guys are doing and his own way of coping. Yeah,
So
heading
he was
down.
listening to us?
I mean, you guys have been talking in the church the entire time.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's right.
That's it.
So what type of festival is happening again, Father?
I think this one, the Burgomeister said, is the Festival of the Blazing Sun. I think he wanted to make some type of display, but he holds so many festivals, I don't tell him I said so, but I kind of lose track.
Do you always smile, Father?
When the Burgomeister's around. But
We happy few.
more importantly is just continuing devotion. It raises his flask a bit to the symbol of the sun up above to the morning lord. Gowain. As you continue down the road, you can see that there's a couple of a couple stragglers by, and there's a couple kids that are like holding a couple bundles of sticks. More token than probably will accomplish anything. But as you continue further down towards the other end of the town, you can see that there's this there's like this massive, like 40-foot tall little effigy in the middle of this town square, looking like a person. You can see that there's this a bit of a wooden ramp leading up towards like where the head would be of it. And you can see that there's still a bunch of people like bundling this up and kind of putting this together. It's nearly complete. And you can see that there's also quite a few carts of barrels, and there's some people are rolling the barrels up and dunking buckets in it and tossing it onto this large effigy. There's a lot of people gathered around the outskirts and the center of this square. And you see that there are a lot of guards here as well. Quite a larger force. Give me a perception check. You can, as you're kind of like looking around everything, you see kind of walking around the outskirts amongst the people who are not really like celebrating this per se, but making way. Is the Burgomeister is circling around the group of everyone, dogs, snarling and kind of like just actually kind of like biting and lunging out at people that get too close. That might be part of the reason why that everyone's kind of clearing a path. You can see he's like waving. He's like, "All is well. Good day. Good day. Welcome to the festival." Like not really stopping to talk to anyone, but kind of like conversing to himself in this manic state. But yeah, you can see it's quite a few guards. It looks like there's quite a few people out here that kind of like have some lighter form of defense on them, like some type of maybe bludgeon, or at least a good piece of wood. But there's like a tension in the air out here, and for the most part, it's not really much of a small mumble or mutter that comes with large crowds. The Burgomeister making the noise is most of what you hear, and he's pretty far away, so This definitely feels like a situation forced upon everyone here.
I'd like to just like kind of observing everyone. I'm assuming people aren't, making a lot of eye contact with him or anything like that. So I'd kind of like to follow the general behavior of everyone in the crowd, but I'd like to kind of try and move through the crowd. I want to see, specifically, I'm looking to see if so we've seen the Burgomeister's there already. I'd like to see if his son is there. I'd like to also see if Isaac or Elena,
Irina.
Irina,
Irina Leah. Yeah.
Is there. So kind of do a pass through the crowd, and then also like try and get a sense of like if I have a sense of how much more time people it looks like they're going to spend on the building this pyre. Like if there's like a whole bunch of barrels that people are still wheeling up there, or if it's like someone's looking like they're about to light a match.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Give me an investigation check to kind of like sift through, looking for specific people in here, and get an idea of how far progress they are and how much longer it might be. It takes you a while to kind of like sift through the crowd. You don't see anyone else really of notice. You don't see Irina. You don't see Isaac. You don't see the Burgomeister's son. Like, just kind of going through the crowd, it kind of feels like a lot of people look the same. It might just be the appearances of everybody. And as you're going through, kind of like getting a look of how they're setting things up, it looks like the bundles that they have in the middle of the town square are kind of dwindling the further that you're in the immediate area. You guess that probably the next like 20 minutes, 30 minutes that they'll probably kick off whatever they're going to do. So pretty soon.
Okay. Given that, I would like to look for a way sort of to get to the edge of the crowd and kind of like subtly leave the area. I don't want to be noticed as like someone who isn't participating. So if there's a way where I can kind of
give me a stealth check with advantage. And definitely with that perception check, you haven't seen anybody leave this area. So yeah, so as you kind of peel away towards one of the larger gatherings of people and kind of like buttresses up next to one of the alleys, you kind of like slip by and kind of just wait until people are kind of more focused towards the Burgomeister and be like, "All is well!" Like they're just kind of like cringing and looking towards him in the direction, like smiling and waving back. You kind of wait for one of those moments and you kind of peel back in the alleyway and walk away. No one seemingly noticed you. Let's see. Check something real quick. Yeah, no one seemingly noticed you.
Okay. Well, I would like to hustle back to our rendezvous point. Just trying to like as quickly as possible get away from line of sight of down that alley. So maybe I'll take kind of the first corner I can to try and get away from somebody just noticing me down there, and then try and move like carefully but quickly back towards the rest of the group.
Okay. You do. You kind of take as many of the alleys that you know over the way back there, and you do kind of pause. You do see a guard kind of like just walking by, looking around, kind of half-assed. You get the idea that they're kind of more relaxed during these events and don't really expect much to happen. But you can wait for him to pass and you make it back to the church with no incident.
All right. I just report back to everybody. I think we've got based on how long it took me to get back there, I'd say maybe we've got probably 10 minutes until the thing goes up. The Burgomeister was there with his dogs, but I didn't see Isaac or Arena. I didn't see his son. But there are a large number of guards there, so I believe that we should move quickly. And now would be the time to break into the house and find Isaac and Irina and find the mirror, find his son.
I would say
While
that
you're-
the distance from the church would probably be like 5 minutes if you were just walk straight in the roads there. Might be a little longer if you take back paths. Okay, so as Lyre does open up his cloak, and this darkness kind of spills out from it, kind of like ink hitting the ground, and kind of what you imagine ink hitting water and kind of just murking out over. It kind of expands and touches each of your guys' shadows, and then kind of disappears as they kind of creep up each of your shoes barely, and there's a bit more dimness around each of you, as if looking at someone that's quite literally in the shade, slightly far away. You guys start heading out over towards Burgomeister's mansion, an area. You guys can see from one of the nearby buildings, doesn't appear to be anyone on the roads that you can see to your left and right. And you guys can all see that the Burgomeister's mansion, there's one individual on the outside standing at the porch, you would say, of it, keeping watch.
So, given the size, I'm just telling everyone, given the size of that wood pile and the amount of oil they're pouring on it, when it lights up, it's going to be fairly spectacular. We may gain a fairly significant distraction. I'm just wondering if there's a way for us to go around behind the house or something, or get either that or take that guard out quickly as the flames light up. Ideally, maybe we don't murder him.
I was suggesting maybe we could have Aranea walk up and say she is here to speak with the Burgomeister's son.
I could do that.
And alternatively, Lyre can volunteer to look around the building. He looks like he's a little stealthy boy.
But if he moves, we lose all of our stealthy boyness.
This is true.
It's true, you'd have to hide somewhere.
Well, shall we go in with diplomacy, which I may have sullied a bit, or
I say
gentle?
we try diplomacy, and if it starts going south, we put him to sleep. To sleep. Not eternal sleep, just sleep.
Didn't it seem like there was a like our way into the his son's attic didn't seem like the normal way in. So how do you think he goes in there? Is it like, it's obviously not through the main building? Maybe there's a back door, maybe there's a ladder up to the attic, maybe there's,
Or up to the roof or
we
something?
could at least scout around.
We
behind
did
the
see
house.
multiple trap doors in the rest of the house, one included in the Burgomeister's room.
That's true, yeah.
So
Okay.
that
from
seems
where-
like the more reasonable.
So
Yeah.
from,
Forgot about that.
So from where we are, can we see, like, is the roof, like, flat or pointed, or...
It's pointed.
Okay, never mind. Can't teleport onto the freaking roof or anything.
You guys are kind of like slightly off the road. A little bit of a divot, a slight bit of a ditch, but you guys are out of sight for now. But you're relatively out in the open. There's no foot traffic, so from what you've seen immediately, so there's no one that's coming by. But from the side of the mansion, you guys are relatively unseen. Anyone
How-
else? So I'm just
How
saying.
far away are we from the guard at the door?
I would probably say just kind of like gazing over there, like maybe like 80 feet.
Well, I could always go talk to the Burgermeister. And then, or the Burgermeister's son. And then accidentally get lost and let you in the back. And be like, oh, I walked into the kitchen because I wanted to make some tea for me and the Burgermeister's son. To be nice.
Could you use your sending spell to contact the Burgmeister's son and tell him to let us in?
I could possibly do that.
Resource.
What would you want me to say?
We're outside. We want to talk to you. There's a guard here. Let us in.
That's it.
I have fucking -1 charisma.
If I can get 10 feet closer to him without being detected, I can surround him in darkness, and we could make our way past. He won't be able to see. He'll be alert that something's going on, obviously, but maybe we could use that to our advantage. Maybe when the fire lights up, I could immediately drop darkness on him, and then we could run, and he would think something crazy happened because the fire caught. Would think Strahd was coming or something, and we could use that to our advantage to get around to the back of the house or to look for some other entrance. Or alternatively, we could use that to take him out and
I feel like we should save that for
knock
a
them out.
last resort. Like, if we need to run, then we would cast darkness on them. And then while they're confused, we could leave.
That seems like the better option, honestly.
Yeah.
Darkness for
Synchronized guiding bolts.
I don't have that spiel.
Cannons of light.
Or we could simply just walk up to the guard and see if he'll let us in before we even use the spell.
Yeah, let's just go walk up to the guard. Or I'll go walk up to the guard, okay?
Okay.
We are here. We make aggression. We will
I think
meet
I would.
aggression with aggression.
Yeah, if he
so
looks like he's
should we,
going to
like-
raise the alarm, then we need to put a stop to that as quick as possible. So
Okay, so you guys are like waiting like 80 feet back still, and you're letting Aranea head forward, or because if you guys all start heading forward, like it's pretty wide open grounds towards the entrance of here. You guys are like at the last real kind of hidden divot there.
what if
So if Aranea does go forward, there will be like a turn of you guys won't be able to act. You'll just be moving up to her.
what if
Yeah.
Lyre and Rock maybe stay back just so that it's not immediately obvious that it's the weird looking people?
I would stay back. I mean, he might prepare a guiding bolt if he thinks they've been had. If they've been made.
What do you mean weird looking people, says Aranea. And she looks at her, she starts touching her ears again. I'm weird too, technically.
Weird is good, except to these people.
Yeah, so if Aranea is in front, then 60 or so feet back, Elena, Daryl, Gowain.
It's pretty much like it's pretty much like 80 feet, or you're going with her. Like otherwise, you're just kind of like standing up out in the open. It's like, yeah, I'm here.
Hi,
we could-
friend.
How
Friend,
many? How many of us have 80 up to 80 foot foot options? I do.
I do. Gawain's a hexblade. He chose melee.
Elena, I know that
instead
Elena
of-
has guiding bolt as well, so she does as well.
Daryl pulls out a bow and is like, I can't guarantee that I won't kill him, but
Just we can't be made. So
So maybe,
Not-
maybe me and Aranea go together.
Mhm.
I don't think that would maybe look too out of the ordinary. You could
And that's
treat me like your peon servant or
That's
something.
You're
these are
right.
dark times.
You're like treat me like your servant person that you're just bringing along to
Your butler.
Your
butler.
manservant
Yeah.
back in the
Jeeves.
60s.
Jeeves.
Sure. Because I definitely had one of those.
Yeah. Okay. So Gawain and Aranea move forward,
Mhm.
non-threateningly.
at this point, I'm already preparing a guiding bolt as an action to us being made, and what I would call like a reasonable suspicion. Like the guards going off to yell an alarm or running to pull the door open, in fear or in surprise, that sort of thing.
okay. Well, do keep in mind when you say that you're readying a spell that will consume the spell, whether you use it or not.
Okay.
So,
Well, in that
If you
case, I'll. Yeah.
and this is over like 6-second increments, so you have to be very careful when you state that. Otherwise, you could go through your spell slots rather quickly.
I see what you're saying.
Yes. You'll be from a distance, so if you see any actions that are abrupt and then you want to start holding it, totally understandable. But I would not recommend that until you are more of an actionable state.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Aranea and Gowain are heading forward.
Heading up to the guard, I'll say, "Hello there. I'm looking for the Burgermeister's son. I'm Aranea."
All right. Give me a moment, and I will move you guys around.
Roll for initiative. What?
Very that quick.
And you've lost. Congratulations.
Okay.
Joe.
So you guys you're heading up there, and you state this. You can see like from a distance, so you're getting closer. Skirt looks like he has a a heavy welt and like a black and blue bruise on his face.
Oh no.
And as you guys kind of like are getting closer, he kind of just takes his hand and just kind of knocks on the back of the door, on the front of the door. Gives it like 3 raps and. Lass, the Burgomeister's son isn't seeing anyone right now. Must be on your way. You should be at the festival right now.
Well, we were told to meet him here.
See the door kind of like open up a bit, and our guy peeks his head out and like looks at you guys and this other guy. Well, whoever told you that is misinformed. And, this is the same guard that kind of spoke to you. Out of all of them, a little more friendly, but he looks like he's a bit battered from yesterday's events. If you're doing anything, if you got time to burn, you should go off to the festival. Lest anyone else see you, and drag you off there. You gotta hear a bit of, like from there. You hear a bit like a couple like shouts muffled from the inside. Sounds like they're communicating inside for however what might be going on.
I guess if I've seen this guy before, I would just say we were at the festival, and the Burgomeister's son wasn't there, and they thought his magic could greatly enhance how spectacular the fire could be, and so we spoke to the Burgomeister, and he asked us to come talk to his son because we had met him earlier.
Make a deception check.
Big money, big money, big money.
It's a disadvantage.
Why is it a disadvantage? Or
No, he didn't say it. I'll take it.
Big money, big money, big money.
It's a big sigh. It's like, Lyre, kind of like peeks back in. So exchanges a couple of words with the garden side. Closes the door. We'll let him know, though. I think even the Burgomeister has low expectations in getting his son out of his room.
Yes, I mean, that's why he asked. Jeez.
You're kind of cutting out.
Yeah.
That's why he asked Aranea here to come see him. She's just formed that bond of co-practitioners of magic, and they connected on an intellectual level.
You see him look over to you, Aranea, and kind of giving you this like this look of pity, real quick, and kind of like shakes his head. Well, I'll let you go see him, but just kind of looks away. He's not really making eye contact anymore. Yep. And he kind of just opens the door and speaks with him briefly and offers his hand in.
I guess we should head in.
Okay. As I'm
Did
heading.
you have a plan for this working?
No, I didn't think I'd get this far. Plankton.
As we're heading in, I'm just gonna look at the guard and say, I hope it's nothing too personal to ask, but how is the Burgomeister treated by his father?
Well, I personally haven't met the Burgomeister's father last. He passed before I started working
Or
here.
the Burgomeister. Sorry, how does the Burgomeister treat his son? That's what I meant, sorry.
Make a persuasion check. You're trying to inquire for personal family details of the employer of this guard for who knows how long he's worked there. Very specific and somewhat private details.
Yeah, but
even asking this, like, he still isn't making like eye contact with you. Ever since like what Gowain said, and he's like, I don't poke my nose into their business, lass.
You're right. I'm sorry. Come along, Gowain.
Okay. So you're gonna step in. You see that there's two other guards there already, like pikes in hand, just kind of like watching you guys.
Hello.
And just kind of point. One of them points pike in his right hand, and just kind of up the stairs.
Oh,
You expected.
I was hoping to make what is the Burgomeister's son's name? I keep
Victor.
forgetting. What is it?
Victor, isn't it?
Victor?
Gary.
It is Victor.
It is Victor? Okay.
Mhm.
I was hoping to make Victor some tea. I have some very delicious tea from my homeland. I can make you some as well.
They're both very tense.
Or not.
And just the very, very distrusting look on you. Stepping in here, probably the calmest of heads was at the door, and just stepping in here, you can feel the tension between them as the other guard, like his pike is like actively pointed at you guys. It's not just casual in here. The situation from the day prior definitely still rings clear in both of their minds.
I'll just say, or not. Definitely another time for that, and I will go to head up the stairs.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. We know the way. We'll make our way there.
Okay. As you guys head upstairs. Nope, keep that guard there. You guys head up, and you guys can see that there are two more guards that are kind of. One of them is watching you guys head up, and the other one is also keeping an eye on you guys as you're heading up the stairs. You guys can hear the sounds of two dogs kind of going. As you guys are heading up, there's some dogs barking further down the hall.
There's more than 2 dogs.
I'm more of
You
a
know.
cat person. I'm gonna just say to Gowain.
Fortunately, we have the cat.
Yeah, I guess if these look like they're also expecting us, and
They're definitely aware of your presence and are eyeing you. They aren't like, come here, this way. They're just kind of like giving you this stare of like, what the fuck are these guys gonna do?
Come hither, friends.
Not very welcoming look.
hello, we're hello.
I'm assuming that we haven't talked about this in character. I'm gonna look at Gowain and say, well, if anything bad happens, I'm glad that you're beside me.
I'd reach out and grab Ariana's hand, Aranea's hand.
Ariana Grande's hand.
If it helps, it's Aranea. It's from Final Fantasy.
So yeah, I'm here with you. You lead the way.
As a side note, Rock's outside doing a sloth squatch, just drawing in the dirt, just schematics.
But yeah, you guys from the outside see the door open. They head in seemingly fine. Yeah, the guard just kind of like pulls one of the dogs back, and just kind of pulls this one back. The other one's still just kind of like in the hallway, tail up, just kind of giving you guys a bit of a growl. But the guards don't seem to actively be trying to pull it, restrain it back at all.
I'd go first past the dog.
Sure.
Okay. Just give me a general animal handling check.
Both of us, or
Do I get advantage or disadvantage if I wet myself at the sight of this huge dog?
That would probably
rough
be a
here.
disadvantage. Just we'll see how Gowain does. Okay. Yeah, give me a check as well, Aranea.
Who's a good doggy? Who's a good doggy?
Yeah. So you guys kind of like pass by, and you do kind of give a couple of like, encouraging words as you do Gowain, and it kind of calms down a bit. Its tail's still up, but it's not actively growling anymore as you guys feel more comfortable going by. And the other dog, kind of sensing somewhat the tension fading from the other one, they don't seem as aggressive right now. For now.
Take a ration that you don't have and feed the
I
dog.
was just about to make that joke. I was about to say, okay, I'm gonna take this ration that I actually don't have.
And so you guys found out how to summon Tiamat and Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So keep going, I guess. This dog's not going to eat me. I guess I'm going to look back at Aranea and just ask to her. Do you think we sorry, what was his name again?
Victor.
Victor. Victor wanted us to come up through the trapdoor when we visited him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he said we had to use the one in the Burgermeister's room, I think.
Okay. Nod knowingly, and then make my way.
That's totally a lie that the guard is going to hear, so I'm going to roll deception for that.
Well, yeah, I was waiting for Helio to...
Oh, God.
Seemingly not acting on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they're not actively inciting, you don't have to fucking bluff.
Oh, okay. Oops.
Not necessarily, but this guard is not acting on it.
Okay.
Fair
Well,
enough. Yeah, there is passive insight, isn't there?
knowing...
As you step in there, the guard in the corner kind of pulls out a pike of his own. He's like, "What are you doing in here?"
We are here to see Victor, and he told us to come in through the trapdoor. Point at the trapdoor.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh no. I guess we meant the wrong trapdoor. Come on, face. Oh no.
Kind of just puts his pike down a bit and kind of like just gives you this weird look and yeah, you go deal with him then. I'm watching you.
He's a quirky one. He's very specific.
You call him the Burgermeister's son quirky?
I mean that in the most flattering way.
This is a royal lineage that
the quirk-
defends Vallaki from the curses of the devil.
Yes,
getting loud.
how
He's getting pretty loud. Like he's getting pretty worked up. Like
yes,
this guy's
how,
like a staunch
I
believer.
apologize.
how dare you, Gowain?
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry, ma'am. I only meant it in the way that his
Kind of
his
like
unique
he
insight.
takes a step up to, and it's like all is well, and it better stay that way.
Or yes, sir.
God,
Rainey's-
you hear like further like inside the building, like a door slam open, like, wham, very loud, like someone get pretty fucking pissed.
Rainey is just gonna say yes, exactly. Obviously, my manservant doesn't know his place, but I will remind him later. I'm very sorry, sir.
Sorry, ma'am.
Make a deception check with advantage. As your known company here. Actually, just straight deception check. Because of previous events. So, because you're somewhat known good quantity, you just get a straight roll. Okay. Yeah, that was just meant for Aranea, not Gowain.
Thank God. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, natty one. Oh.
The guard kind of like gives you a bit of a nod and a disapproving look for you, Gowain. I'm like, I've done my job here. They fucking know better now. That's right. Yeah, you got stands back in his corner and kind of still watching you guys rather intently, but he definitely seems satisfied with the results of this. And
Oh, I see what you're thinking, Lyre. I like it.
Proceed, Gowain, to the trapdoor.
you guys can hear a bit of a bellowing from out further down the halls of, "What's all this ruckus?" You guys hear a familiar voice of Isaac shouting. out.
Right, I'll pull the trap door down and
Yep. You guys
start
start
head up
heading.
as quick as possible.
Yep.
Mhm.
You guys are heading upstairs, and you guys do find yourself up above, and both of you can see because both of you have dark vision.
As we're up there, Aranea is. I almost called myself Elena. Damn it. Aranea is going to say, "I'm really sorry I said that, Gowain. That was so rude."
You did great.
Thank you.
You did great. Does this look like is that a window or a door?
It's a window.
And is this the great we can? Well, I don't know for sure, but I can see
Yes, that is
the
the great
doorway
that-
here. It's the
That's
we
the
came
great
up
you guys
before.
came up from before.
If I
You can
look
see
out
it's
the
in place
window,
again. Say what?
if I look at the window, is there? I'm not sure. There's like a dotted line out there. Is that like is there a balcony or a ledge or something out there?
It's not a balcony. It's just that's a drop off to like the back of the property.
Well, what do you think? We should. I don't see another way to let everyone in yet.
Do you have a rope? How far is it down?
It's probably about like say about 30 feet down, 35 feet down.
Well, if one of us had a rope, we could tie a rope up here somehow.
Oh, I do have a rope.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could open the window and maybe tie a rope around something and try and go get everyone to come back up.
Do we have anything we can tie the freaking rope to? I wonder.
You guys hear a bit of louder discussion, somewhat relatively close to the trapdoor, of the same bellowing voice of Isaac, seemingly conversing with the guard underneath of you, quite directly underneath of you.
Oh,
Maybe we should move.
probably.
Should we just head to Victor's chamber and
You guys hear the
Yeah.
trap door also, the stairs leading up, kind of pull down as someone pulled them rather forcefully down.
yeah, okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's close the door behind us.
Yep, let's go and run.
Okay.
So close the door behind us
Yeah.
and make our way to the door over here. And I will let say after you knock on his door.
Okay.
He knows you better.
I will knock and say, Victor, it's Aranea. I've come for another visit.
Kind of knocking. There's no immediate response. You guys hear from the other end of the this attic, slam of that trap door slamming against the wall. You hear kind of like the clambering of kind of like something heavy and metal being tossed up onto the ground, and someone quite loudly and aggressively heading up there.
Are the people up here able to fucking hear this?
Outside?
Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
It is rather muffled. This is indoors through multiple walls. You guys are still like 80 feet,
Yeah,
80
yeah.
feet out and beyond most of the walls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna knock.
Is the
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you see any evidence that the door is glowing like it was before?
It's not glowing, but there's that same hum that there was before.
I'm just gonna. Let's see. I could either cast sending and tell the party that we need them, or I could knock again and tell Victor that we need help. I'm just gonna knock again. Said, Victor, we really, really need your help. I found your book.
Um. Depending what angle you're going with this, give me a perception, or no, give me a persuasion or a deception check of how you're going to proceed going forward after this. Okay. You hear the belling voice from the other end of, "I know you're here, and I know you're not welcome." And you see the door kind of crack open slightly, Aranea, and you see Victor's face kind of emerge. "You have my book?
I do. I found it.
Show me."
I'll take out his book.
His face got kind of like alight with like delight and glee. And his hand just kind of reaches out and bolts for it rather immediately.
Okay. As he grabs it, I'll just hold on to it and say, "And remember that we're your friends, right? So we're allowed to be here, right? Please."
His eyes kind of squint a bit.
I'll let it go too.
As Isaac steps through, and there's just a bit of light escaping from the door, and Victor speaks. He's like, I don't care if you're here. That's fine. Takes a look back at his book. Thank you. Shuts the door. And Isaac kind of calls out. He's like, "You! What are you doing?" And you see in the distance that large, like, nasty, gnarly hand of his kind of alights with fire as he's like kind of guiding himself over to you. That heavy great axe in the other hand as he's stepping closer. "You shouldn't be here."
You're right. I should be at the festival, but I wanted to make sure that I returned Lord Victor his book.
Still stepping closer.
We, unfortunately, the last time we were here, we were deceived by somebody, but we wanted to make things right because we recognized the power and the importance of the Burgermeister. And so we were able to obtain what was stolen from Lord Victor, like the Lady Aranea had said. And we thought it was important to try and take this first step towards clearing our names, because we recognize that the strength and the power of Vistani is or of Vallaki is it's the shining beacon in this land. We want to be of service to the Burgermeister.
Okay, you can see as the kind of like dancing flames and his palm kind of like lighting his face, and see there's this sadistic kind of like smile on his face. Give me a straight,
Bullshit.
give
roll.
me a disadvantage deception check.
Yeah.
Like,
Come on, face.
Going.
I don't know how I'm feeling about that.
yeah. So he just kind of steps forward closer, and you can see he's just holding his hand out, and he just gets up close to you and says, "Lies." And that's where we're going to end the session for today.
Oh no!
Because we are going to start an initiative starting next session.
Oh, boy.